Our man Diddy, he got sentenced to 50 months.
I think he was sentenced for his character in addition to being sentenced for his crime.
The fact that he asked for a pardon, though, is actually somewhat of a privileged entitlement.
I don't think that was entitlement. I think, hey, he figured, you know what, it's like that. And it wasn't, unfortunately, or maybe not yet.
50 months, that's the best he was going to get. So he's going to have to take that and spend it in solitary. Our man Diddy, the sentence came down. He got sentenced to 50 months. That's better than 50 years, I guess. So, you got to pull out all the strings. Of course, he was not happy about this. He reached out to Trump. Trump's like, a lot of people reach out to me. I'll look into it, which is a soft no. So, it could have been worse. They got him on 2 counts of trafficking for, relations. And I did a little digging. He should get time served off. So he'll serve, I think he's been in prison 13 months, I believe. Still not cool, but, better than 50. So some people are saying, look, if he'd been a regular person, if he didn't have the resources to fight this, he would have gotten a lot more time. He'd have gotten a book thrown at him. So there are some words of 2-tier justice. So you guys think the 50-month sentence is fair, or is this a 2-tier justice system thing?
I think that 50 months, let alone anybody even breathing 50 years for somebody carrying or bringing in a sex worker is wild. Okay, I think it's wild. I think if these are the charges that he's being tried for, right, and this is what he's found guilty of, that's 50 months. I think he was sentenced for his character in addition to being sentenced for his crime. And we got to decide if, even in our pettiness right now, we want to be that kind of society. You know what I mean? That we just want to jump down on a person because we just don't like them, even though we let the justice system run its course. You know what I mean?
Do you think he got sentenced for the freak-offs?
I think he got sentenced because the public hates him, right? They have been told he's a monster, right? And so I think that him asking Trump for the pardon is like, no, dude. No, you did that all wrong. He did it all wrong. He should have applied to Trump's presidential library, made a donation, done it in the back channels so Trump could seem like it was his idea, because we all know he loves his own ideas. And then he could have done that. It would have been smooth, and he might would have gotten out. But now Trump's got to take a stand because the very people that he wants, Trump probably has a friendship bracelet on his left or right wrist that says WWCD. And you can figure out who the C is. It ain't James T. Kirk. It's a little bit on the nose, huh? All right, man. So I've said enough. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in and kind of save you, but I also wanted to see where you was going with that C. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you drown on that one because I was like, I don't know exactly. So thank you, sir, for saying, go ahead. So with that being said, let me go ahead and say, I think that they split the baby on this one, basically, because from my understanding, the man can be sentenced. He had 2 counts, so it's 2 to 10 years. And they gave him 5, right? About 5. He already served a year. And so I think it showed that basically, particularly within the Black community, icon can fall. Justice can be served just because they're icon. Now, I will note that the icon being Black may have a role in the fact that they split the baby and gave him 5 years, but he could have got 2. He could have got, out on what he already served. And so I think that ultimately, I'm good with this verdict because while he went down for man charges, which is interesting considering that they could have got so much more if they would have presented the case to include charging a co-accessory. We won't say Cassie name. But anyways, then I think he would have got even more and Rico may have been proven. But since they didn't, it is what it is. I think the fact that he asked for a pardon, though, is actually somewhat of a privileged entitlement. It was like, oh, I'm a celebrity, so therefore I'm entitled to this pardon to request it directly versus, as you said, Jay, going through the back channel, sliding through the door and so forth. But either way it goes, I think this is a justice served in some shape, way, or form for those who believe he deserved it. And I think it's justice served for the things that he was not caught for. And that tends to be the case with some people. They get sentenced for something that they never did. I'm going to just refer to OJ, who was another polarizing figure when it came to when he got sentenced for stealing back his own stuff. So landing there.
I'm going to ask a couple of quick rhetorical questions. I could have swore Trump had mentioned something about the Diddy case, didn't he? Okay, maybe that wasn't a rhetorical question. Did he mention something about just how like it just seemed a little funny? I don't know.
Mm.
Because I feel like Trump be, introducing himself to many situations, and so if homie got signal that hey, he might be amenable to a pardon, I don't feel like it's entitlement. I mean, I'm Diddy. Like, we used to party back in the day. We're New York, right? And if you showing some level of empathy towards the niggas because you realize how fucked up this shit is, then yeah, I'm gonna make a personal appeal. But yet we want to frame it as entitlement. Okay, I'm the reframer here. So I'm saying I don't think that was entitlement. I think, hey, he figured, you know what? It's like that. And it wasn't, unfortunately, or maybe not yet. Right? Maybe that does have to settle a little bit. Apparently, this president don't seem to care what y'all fucking think about what he's doing. So maybe he'll get back to it. Just not right now. So chill. You know what I mean? That's number one. Number two, this idea of a double standard, right? Like the idea that he got less time because he had money and fame and all that. You know what's so ironic about that take, right? For anybody who might have it, one would probably stand to reason that he wouldn't be in this position if he did not have money and he wasn't who he was, right? Like, how many people transport hoes across state lines, especially in the tri-state, when you're talking about New York, New Jersey, maybe Philadelphia, Connecticut? I guess that's 4 states. My point is, right? So I get it. Maybe y'all felt like, hey, if he wasn't rich and somehow he ended up on this, RICO case, because I don't know how you could not have money and be caught up in a RICO. Has there been a broke RICO? like, you know, like, like, how can you have a criminal enterprise if y'all niggas ain't making no money? I don't know. These are just questions that I feel like people are not asking. So it supposes that the people who are going to be charged with these things probably have money. You know what I'm saying? And so I think what also sucks about this is that I feel like this might be a fair case, all things decided, right? Celebrity, what he did, or whatever, right? He got the years. It might work out for him. People will feel like he didn't get over necessarily. If he would have got out, maybe they would have felt like, you know what, that would have been his money, et cetera, et cetera. So I feel like for him, even though this is me saying that from the outside, this might have worked out for him because now he can go ahead and do his time, pay his penance or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, he was found guilty for what he was found for, but in the world of karma, he got what he deserved, probably maybe even less. And so take your win there, strategize, and mount your comeback. He's fully capable of mounting a comeback. So I'm not going to cry for Diddy. You know what I'm saying? This brother has shown time and time again, whether it was the shooting incident, whether it was what happened with Biggie, the war back. I mean, this brother's resilient. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to cry for him. And I feel like who are the victims for real, for real? And it seems like most of them have been compensated. So, we've talked about this story for like, a year, a couple of seasons now. And so for me, I'm happy it's come to an end, at least this chapter of it. And so maybe we can close. I know Devin's going to speak on it, but it's just crazy. Like finally. And I think honestly, thinking about it, everybody got their just desserts, you know what I mean? Regardless of how we got there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering about the if you don't have money, can you still have a freak off? I mean, it'd be a broke freak off. I'm not sure how that would work, but
Yes.
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yes.
concerning, actually. Yeah,
You-
listen, I think this is probably fair. They put a lot of stuff out there, try to get it to stick, but this is what they landed with. To me, some of the flying them out for reasons of prostitution. I mean, you still kind of get into, is flying your chick out to clap her cheeks, is that prostitution? Like I don't know, but I think the salaciousness of it and the tainting of Diddy in the public eye, I think that played a lot into it. I think this is probably the best he was going to get, 50 months. And then you do time served. So even if he wanted a presidential pardon, usually that's done at the end of a term. So I'm not sure if in that amount, I don't think Trump will even be in office, but maybe he can get him on the way out. But I really don't think Trump would spend any political capital pardoning Diddy in the middle of his term. I certainly wouldn't, and I'm just a regular guy. But what do I know? 50 months, that's the best he was going to get. So he's going to have to take that and spend it in solitary because he's still probably a marked man. So good luck, Diddy.